Welcome to Episode 5, Why Cloud is Transforming Business, where we explore how cloud computing reshaped the modern enterprise landscape. The shift from owning hardware to using shared digital infrastructure did more than change technology. It redefined how organizations innovate, compete, and grow. Cloud adoption turned fixed capital into flexible operating expense and allowed ideas to move at the speed of software. For leaders, this change means rethinking strategy from the ground up. Instead of treating technology as a support function, it becomes the backbone of agility and experimentation. The cloud altered business rhythm itself, transforming how companies plan, build, and deliver value across every industry.
Speed to experiment has become essential business strategy because the cloud reduces the penalty of failure. In the past, testing new products or features required hardware purchases, installation, and long approval cycles. Today, teams can spin up environments in minutes, try new configurations, and discard what does not work with minimal loss. This ability turns innovation from a special project into a continuous process. For example, a retailer can test personalized recommendations on a small audience, gather results overnight, and decide by morning whether to scale. The cloud turns agility into measurable advantage. Speed becomes not just helpful, but essential to staying relevant.
Elastic scale, another defining trait, eliminates the friction that used to constrain growth. Traditional systems had to be built for peak demand, leaving expensive idle capacity most of the year. Cloud infrastructure, by contrast, expands and contracts automatically as load changes. This means a startup can serve a global surge of users one day and pay only for what it used the next. It also means established enterprises can handle unpredictable workloads without overcommitting resources. Elasticity aligns computing power with actual business rhythm, saving money and reducing waste while delivering smoother customer experiences.
Global reach with local latency allows even small companies to act like international players. Cloud providers maintain data centers around the world, bringing services physically closer to users. This proximity reduces delay, improves reliability, and supports regulatory boundaries about where data can reside. A health startup in Canada, for example, can deploy applications in Europe or Asia with just a few configuration choices, respecting privacy laws while serving new markets. Geography becomes a design decision, not a limitation. The result is democratized access to global opportunity without the traditional cost or complexity of multinational infrastructure. Analytics, empowered by the cloud, now drive faster and smarter decision cycles. Tools once reserved for specialized data teams are accessible through user-friendly dashboards and pre-built models. Executives can visualize customer behavior, forecast demand, or monitor performance without waiting weeks for reports. For instance, marketing teams can analyze campaign outcomes mid-flight and adjust strategies dynamically. This immediacy closes the gap between data and decision, turning information into ongoing guidance rather than static documentation. The cloud enables a rhythm where insights are continuous, not episodic, each choice informed by the freshest possible evidence. Artificial intelligence and machine learning services have become commoditized through cloud offerings, making advanced capabilities available to all. Tasks like image recognition, natural language processing, and prediction modeling once demanded large research teams and specialized hardware. Now, anyone can call these functions through simple interfaces. This democratization levels the playing field between startups and giants alike. For example, a small manufacturing firm can apply defect detection using Vision AI without building an in-house model. As these services evolve, innovation accelerates because creativity, not capital, becomes the main ingredient for progress. Security posture in the cloud improves by design when configured responsibly. Providers invest billions into layered defenses, continuous monitoring, and global redundancy that few organizations could replicate alone. Default settings often include encryption at rest and in transit, automated patch management, and access control integration. While shared responsibility still applies, the baseline is far stronger than typical legacy systems. A company that once relied on manual updates now benefits from continuous compliance and threat intelligence across regions. The net result is risk reduction through modernization. The cloud turns best practices into everyday operations rather than extraordinary efforts. Compliance tooling also advances through cloud-native capabilities. Built-in frameworks, audit logs, and standardized reports simplify attestation for industry standards such as ISO or SOX certifications. Instead of compiling evidence manually, teams can export verified controls directly from their environment. This automation shortens audit cycles and improves accuracy. Consider a financial institution that must demonstrate encryption for customer data. With cloud compliance dashboards, it can show proof instantly rather than assembling documentation over weeks. Compliance becomes less of a burden and more of a living part of governance, continuously verified and easily communicated to stakeholders. Financially, the cloud shifts spending to follow value rather than prediction. The traditional model required large upfront investment in hardware, often mismatched with future needs. Cloud computing converts these costs into operational expenses that scale with usage. This flexibility encourages experimentation and ensures resources match demand. A media company streaming a major event, for example, pays more only during peak viewership. When traffic returns to normal, costs automatically decline. This alignment between consumption and payment builds accountability into budgets, connecting technology decisions directly to business outcomes and freeing capital for innovation. However, vendor risk and portability must remain in focus. Dependence on a single cloud provider can create exposure if pricing, service quality, or regulations change. Smart organizations design architectures with abstraction layers or multi-cloud strategies to maintain flexibility. For instance, using open standards and containerization allows workloads to migrate more easily between platforms. Awareness of portability ensures that convenience today does not become constraint tomorrow. The goal is not to avoid partnership, but to maintain balanced control, leveraging provider strength while safeguarding long-term independence. Responsible cloud use always includes an exit strategy, even if it is never used. Transformation ultimately depends on culture and governance, not just tools. The most advanced technology fails when organizations cling to old habits. Moving to the cloud requires teams to share responsibility, embrace transparency, and iterate faster. Governance evolves from static policies to continuous oversight supported by automation. Leaders must foster a culture of learning where experimentation is safe and accountability is clear. A company that empowers employees to use new tools responsibly will outpace one that restricts innovation out of fear. True transformation blends trust, structure, and curiosity into a single organizational mindset. Cloud computing has become the engine of business value acceleration, but only when managed responsibly. It amplifies speed, reach, and intelligence, yet demands thoughtful oversight to balance opportunity with control. The most successful organizations see the cloud not as a cost-saving tactic, but as a catalyst for reinvention. They use it to turn data into insight, insight into action, and action into growth. The transformation is not only technical, it is cultural, strategic, and human. Embracing it deliberately ensures that progress remains sustainable and that innovation continues to serve both business and society with clarity and integrity. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit DailyCyber.News.